Shutters too. The bright lights of the luxury boutique shimmered like stars across polished marble floors. Every shelf gleamed with handbags worth more than most people made in a month. The air smelled of new leather, perfume, and pride. Shoppers walked with their heads high, their voices low, their eyes sharp, like they were all part of a silent competition of elegance. Among them walked a little girl named Leela, wearing a simple blue and white floral dress that her mother had bought her for her birthday. She held her head high, just like her mom had taught her, and carried a small navy purse that almost matched her shoes. Lila wasn't here to buy anything fancy. She just wanted to surprise her mom, a hard-working woman who always put others first. Her mom loved one particular handbag, the one displayed right in the center under the chandelier. Leela had been saving her allowance and doing small chores for months. Today was her day to finally buy it. But as soon as she stepped inside, the whispers began. At first, Lila tried to ignore them. The store clerk behind the counter glanced at her, then at the spotless glass floor, as if the girl's shoes had dirtied it. Two women by the shelf exchanged looks, their smiles tight and fake. "Are you lost, sweetheart?" one of them said, her voice dripping with a sweetness that didn't match her eyes. Leela smiled shyly. "No, ma'am. I'm just looking at the handbags." The woman laughed softly. "Oh, that's cute. But these are a little expensive for, kids." Lila's face fell slightly. "I know what I'm doing," she said quietly. "I'm here to buy a gift." The other woman smirked. "A gift for who, Barbie?" They both chuckled, glancing at each other as if it were the funniest thing in the world. The store clerk joined in, pretending to be polite but clearly amused. "Sweetheart, maybe you should check the accessories section. Something more affordable." Lila felt her throat tighten. But she remembered what her mother always said, "Don't let anyone make you small, even when you're the smallest one in the room." So she straightened her shoulders and walked up to the counter. "Can I see the blue handbag, please?" The clerk blinked, surprised. "That one? The new collection?" "Yes," Lila said, nodding. "It's for my mom." The woman hesitated, then slowly reached for the display bag. But before she could hand it over, another customer, an elegant lady in a yellow dress, laughed out loud. "Oh, come on. You're really going to let her touch that? That bag costs more than her entire wardrobe." The laughter echoed, bouncing off the marble walls like little daggers. Leela's hands trembled, but she refused to cry. She reached into a small purse and pulled out an envelope, crumpled but full of neatly stacked bills. "I have money," she said, her voice steady. "I've been saving for months." The store went silent. Everyone stared. The clerk frowned. "Where did you get this money?" "From my mom," Lila said. "She works hard and I help her. I want to buy her this bag so she knows how much I love her." The lady in yellow rolled her eyes. "That's adorable. But sweetheart, this isn't a place for games." Lila's lip quivered. "I'm not playing." The tension hung heavy in the air. The store manager started walking over, his expression serious. "Is there a problem here?" he asked. The lady in yellow smiled. "No problem, just a little girl pretending she can afford luxury." Lila looked down at the money in her hands, then back at the handbag. "Please," she whispered. "Just let me try." The manager sighed. "I'm sorry, miss, but we can't." Suddenly, a calm but powerful voice cut through the room. "Can't what?" Every head turned. The doors opened again, and in walked a woman in a long red dress, her posture elegant, her presence commanding. Her heels clicked sharply on the marble floor as she approached. Her eyes locked onto Lila first, soft, loving, and then to the others, cold, unflinching. "That's my daughter," she said. "And I'd like to know who told her she can't be here." The air froze. The store that once felt too bright now felt too small. The employees stood still. The customers awkwardly looked away. Lila ran toward her mom and hugged her waist, tears finally spilling down. Her mother stroked her hair gently, then looked at the clerk. "She came here to buy something for me. With her own money. Is that a problem for any of you?" No one answered. The woman in the yellow dress tried to laugh it off. "Oh, we didn't mean any harm. It was just a misunderstanding." But Lila's mom smiled, a slow, knowing smile that said she wasn't fooled. "Misunderstanding or not," she said, "you just taught my daughter one of life's most painful lessons, and now I'll teach you one too." The store manager looked nervous. "Ma'am, I apologize." She raised a hand. "Save it. You'll hear me out soon enough." Lila held onto her mother's hand tightly, her little heart pounding. The same store that made her feel small now watched her mother command the room with quiet power. What they didn't know, what none of them could have guessed, was that the woman they had just insulted wasn't just another customer. She was one of the store's top investors, and about to change the meaning of luxury forever. The store was silent. Every whisper, every smug smile, every judgment from moments ago now hung in the air like dust. Lila stood close to her mother's side, clutching her small purse as if it were a shield. Her mother's calm voice filled the room, gentle but sharp enough to command attention. "Tell me," she said to the clerk, "what did my daughter do wrong?" The clerk hesitated, her cheeks pink. "Nothing, ma'am. We just thought—" "You thought?" Lila's mother repeated softly. "You assumed. You looked at her dress, her age, her small purse, and decided she didn't belong here." The woman in yellow tried to speak again, but the mother's eyes stopped her cold. "Do you know what hurts a child the most?" she asked, her voice trembling now with feeling. "It's not rejection. It's being made to feel small when she's done nothing wrong. My daughter came here with kindness in her heart. She wanted to buy me a gift with her own savings, and you laughed at her." The words echoed through the marble walls. Lila looked up at her mom, amazed at how strong she sounded. The store manager stepped forward quickly, panic on his face. "Madam, please accept our apologies. We didn't realize—" Her mother turned her gaze toward him. "You didn't realize what? That kindness and money aren't the same thing?" The man's throat went dry. I mean, we didn't know who she was." "And if you had known," she replied, "would you have treated her differently?" The manager had no answer. The silence was deafening. Then slowly, Lila's mother reached into her handbag and pulled out a sleek black card, the kind that few people ever see in person. The clerk's eyes widened instantly. "I'm not here to boast," she said quietly. "But since you seem to measure worth by wealth, let me speak in your language for a moment." She placed the card on the counter. "I'm one of this brand's top investors. This store exists because people like me believed in it. And you, the face of that brand, made my daughter feel unworthy." The woman in yellow gasped softly. The manager's expression fell apart completely. Lila's mother continued, her tone softening now. "I know what it's like to be judged. When I was younger, I used to stand outside stores like this one, looking through the glass, wondering if I'd ever be good enough to walk inside. I promised myself that if I ever found success, I'd make sure no one else felt that way, especially a child." She looked around the store. "Luxury should never mean arrogance. True class isn't about what's on your arm, it's about what's in your heart." For a long moment no one moved. Even the woman in yellow looked down, her cheeks burning with shame. Then Lila's mother turned back to her daughter and smiled. "Sweetheart," she said softly, "you wanted to buy me something, didn't you?" Lila nodded timidly. Her mother knelt down so they were eye to eye. "You already did. You gave me the greatest gift of all, your love. But I think it's time we teach them what real worth looks like." Standing tall again, she turned to the clerk. "We'll take all the handbags from this collection," she said calmly. The clerk's jaw dropped. "Not all of them?" "Yes," Lila's mother said. "And we'll donate them to the women's shelter downtown. Every woman there deserves to feel the same confidence you tried to take from my daughter." Lila smiled wide, her tears replaced by pride. The entire store watched in stunned silence as the clerk began packing the handbags, her hands trembling. The woman in yellow approached cautiously. "Ma'am, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt her." Lila's mother looked at her for a long moment. Then she said quietly, "Apologies mean little unless they're followed by change. Be better next time, not just to us, but to anyone who walks through those doors." The woman nodded, ashamed. When everything was packed, Lila and her mom walked toward the exit together. The chandelier lights sparkled above them, as if bowing in respect. Just before they stepped outside, Lila stopped and turned back. To everyone's surprise, she smiled. "It's okay," she said softly. Next time, maybe you can smile first instead of laugh. Her words hit harder than any scolding could. As the doors closed behind them, the store remained frozen in silence, a silence filled with reflection, not pride. Outside, the city sunlight bathed Lila and her mother in gold. They walked hand in hand, their reflections glowing in the boutique's window. "Mom," Lila whispered, "I'm glad you came." Her mother smiled and kissed her forehead. "You didn't need me to save you, sweetheart. You already showed them what strength looks like." They reached their car, and as they loaded the bags meant for donation, Lila's mom looked at her daughter proudly. "Remember this day," she said, "because one day you'll be the one teaching others that value isn't something people give you. It's something you already have." Lila nodded, her heart swelling with pride. For the first time, the luxury bags didn't seem important at all. What mattered was the lesson: dignity has no price tag. As they drove away, the camera could fade out, Lila's laughter mixing with the hum of the city, and a narrator's voice would say, "Never judge someone by what they wear, where they come from, or how small they seem. True worth comes from the heart. If you believe in kindness, respect, and the power of humility, make sure to subscribe for more inspiring stories like this one.